What's up, Steelers Nation? Before we jump into today's massive story, let me remind you of something important. This team is working every single day to get better, to improve, to fix the problems, and to bring real results back to Pittsburgh. Nobody in that building is satisfied with being average. Nobody is comfortable with 6'6". They know what wearing black and gold means, and they're fighting to honor that standard. So if you appreciate honest coverage, real conversation, and exclusive Steelers updates just like this one, hit that like button right now. It helps the channel grow and makes sure more Steelers fans get the truth, not the filtered corporate version. Before we continue with today's Steelers update, Cyber Monday is live. Jerseys, hoodies, and Steelers sideline gear are up to 65% off, but today is the final day, and sizes are going fast. Link below, code CM25. All right, let's get into it, because we've got drama, we've got injury news, and we've got a rookie stepping up with a powerful message. Steelers Nation, Sunday was rough. There's no sugarcoating it. A 26-7 home loss to the Buffalo Bills, a game where the Steelers looked out of rhythm, out of sync, and at times out of answers. That loss dropped Pittsburgh to 6-12 and sparked something we haven't heard much inside Acrisure Stadium. Chants of Fire Tomlin. Yep, it happened. Some fans let it fly. And while this franchise has had frustrating moments before, hearing those chants echo in the stadium hit differently. And it clearly hit the players too, especially rookie linebacker Jack Sawyer, who stepped in front of reporters on Monday and made his feelings very clear. Sawyer didn't attack the fans, he didn't lash out, but he did call the chants what they felt like to him. Yeah, you're frustrated because that's bull when people are saying that, but we're not playing up to our standard. We need to take ownership as players and go out there and play a lot better. There it is. Straight from the rookie. No excuses, no hiding, just accountability. Sawyer basically said what many veterans were thinking. This isn't about Tomlin versus the fans. It's about the players failing to uphold the standard that Tomlin has set for almost 2 decades. And remember, right after the game, Aaron Rodgers, in only his first season with the team, said the same thing. Rodgers made it clear. He still believes in Tomlin, the players need to take responsibility, and the standard is higher than what they've shown. When your 21-year-old rookie and your future Hall of Fame quarterback are delivering the same message, that says something. But here's where this story gets even bigger. According to Jerry Dulac of the Post-Gazette, ownership wasn't exactly thrilled with what happened inside Acrisure Stadium on Sunday. He said on the 102.5 WDVE morning show that the chants, combined with the growing number of opposing fans filling the stadium this season, have the owners both disappointed and frustrated. Think about this. There were so many Packers fans in attendance during Week 8, Aaron Rodgers had to use a silent count at home. At home. Dulac put it simply. If you start selling out the stadium to the other team, that gets the owner's attention. So no, this is not a playoffs or bust or Tomlin is gone situation. But yes, this is the closest the Steelers have felt to a potential coach-team separation in a long time. And it's wild to think about because back in early October, the Steelers were 4-1. Now they've lost 5 of 7. And they're heading into a massive showdown against the Ravens on December 7th, both teams sitting at 6-6, in what could determine control of the AFC North. It's getting tense, it's getting emotional, and it's getting real. But let's shift to something the Steelers absolutely needed this week, positive injury news. Linebacker Patrick Queen, who left the Bills game with what was initially feared to be a hip injury, appears to have avoided something serious. NFL insider Ian Rappaport reported Monday that Queen is believed to have sustained a lower back bruise, and the team hopes the injury is short-term. This is huge because when Queen went out, the Steelers' defense collapsed. Not struggled, not dipped, collapsed. They gave up the most rushing yards in Acrisure Stadium history. for a franchise built on physical, hard-nosed, smash-mouth defense that is brutal to watch. Queen wanted to go back in. You could see it on the sideline, but the medical staff said no. They made the call to keep him out. Tomlin confirmed that it was the contusion that prevented Queen's return. So now the question becomes, can Queen bounce back and help stabilize a defense that is falling apart? Let's be honest. Patrick Queen has been a mixed bag this season. He was the Steelers' big-ticket free agent signing. He was supposed to be the stabilizer. He wears the green dot, the communicator, the on-field general, the guy who's responsible for making sure everyone is in the right place. But the results? Not good enough. Queen has been decent at times, but inconsistent, frustrating, and part of a defense that has become one of the worst in the NFL. The question the front office is asking right now is simple. Can Queen return quickly and elevate his play enough to stop this defensive freefall? Or has this defense already hit a point of no return? Because if Queen can't go, the Steelers are forced into a rotation of Peyton Wilson, Malik Harrison, or Cole Holcomb. Harrison has seen more snaps recently, but none of these guys have been difference makers. And with 5 games left, time is running out. Actually, time might already be up. Here's what we know. The players are frustrated, ownership is frustrated, the fan base is frustrated, and Mike Tomlin, the man who has never had a losing season, is hearing "Fire Tomlin" chants for the first time in his career. It's a crossroads moment, Steelers Nation. Not just for Tomlin, not just for Queen, but for the entire direction of this franchise. The Ravens game on December 7th might decide everything. The playoff race, the locker room confidence, the coaching narrative, the future of this team's leadership. And for the first time in a long time, the pressure is on everyone, not just the quarterback. Because when James Harrison, one of the most feared linebackers to ever wear black and gold, a former Defensive Player of the Year, a Super Bowl hero, and a respected voice in Pittsburgh, publicly says it's time for the Steelers to move on from Mike Tomlin, that hits completely different. This isn't a fan on Twitter. This isn't a radio host. This isn't an outsider. This is Debo. This is a franchise legend. This is a guy who bleeds black and gold. And on his podcast, Debo and Joe, he didn't dance around the topic. He didn't sugarcoat it. He didn't try to be diplomatic. He said it plainly. I think it's time that history be made. I want Mike Tomlin fired. Let me repeat that. James Harrison wants Mike Tomlin fired. This is the strongest anti-Tomlin statement ever made by a Steelers great, and it comes at a time when the Steelers are spiraling again after what looked like a promising 4-1 start. Following the brutal 26-7 loss to the Bills, Pittsburgh sits at 6-12, a 500 team again. And if you ask Harrison, he's had enough.
On the podcast, Harrison opened up in a way he rarely does. He admitted something he had kept quiet for years. I have never been someone who thought Coach Tomlin was a great coach. He said he thought Tomlin was good, not great. But then he went deeper, talking about coaching philosophy and what truly separates a good coach from a great coach. Here's the key part. A good coach gets you to play to your potential. A great coach gets you to play beyond your potential. And right now, according to Harrison, the Steelers' players are not even reaching their potential, let alone exceeding it. This is a devastating critique, coming from someone who played under Tomlin for years. Harrison said the current roster has talent, real talent, but the players are performing below their abilities. And when that happens consistently, year after year, it reflects on the head coach. Let's talk facts, not emotions, not opinions. The Pittsburgh Steelers have not won a playoff game since the 2016 season. Let that sink in. One of the proudest franchises in the NFL, a team built on toughness, championships, and excellence. A team with 6 Lombardi trophies. hasn't won a postseason game in 9 years. 9 years. And James Harrison made it clear, at some point, even a franchise as stable as the Steelers has to admit the obvious. The results aren't good enough anymore. Mike Tomlin has been here almost 2 decades. He has never had a losing season. Yes, that is impressive. But he also hasn't been able to win in January in nearly a decade. For Harrison, that's unacceptable. For many fans, that's unacceptable. For insiders, that's unacceptable. And he's not alone. More and more former players, analysts, and even longtime Tomlin defenders are starting to ask the same question. Is it time for a new era in Pittsburgh? Now, Tomlin isn't running from the criticism. When asked about the future, about whether he still believes he can fix this, Tomlin gave the simplest answer possible. Keep watching. That's it. No long speech, no excuses, no elaborate defense. Just keep watching. For some fans, that's not enough. They want action, not words. They want results, not promises. And truthfully, many fans are watching because they're waiting for change, not because they believe the turnaround is coming. But unless ownership steps in, and historically, the Rooney family does not fire coaches, Tomlin isn't going anywhere before the season ends. Here's the million-dollar question. Is Jack Sawyer right? Because when a Steelers legend says something has to be done, it's time for history to be made, and openly calls for Tomlin's firing, it forces the entire fan base to stop and think. Is this just frustration after another collapse? Or is this the truth nobody wanted to say out loud? Has Tomlin lost his edge? Has the locker room stopped responding? Has the standard slipped too far to be recovered under the same voice? Or are this an overreaction to injuries, inconsistency, and a chaotic season? That's what Steelers Nation must decide. All right, Steelers Nation, now it's your turn. Do you agree with Jack Sawyer? Are the Fire Tomlin chants out of line? Or do you believe the frustration is justified after years without a playoff win? Do you still believe in Tomlin the way Aaron Rodgers does? And what about Patrick Queen? Do you trust him to bounce back and help fix this defense before it's too late? Let me know everything in the comments. I read them all. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next big Steelers update. Steelers Nation, Cyber Monday is live, and today is your last chance. Up to 65% off on jerseys, hoodies, and sideline gear. This sale ends tonight. Link below. Code CM25. Steelers Nation, buckle up. This season is far from over. Here we go.